on the screen? When I'm looking at this line, y equals, what is my slope? -1, right? Because I'm starting at a point, and to get to the next point, I go down 1 over 1. 1 over 1 is 1, but it's negative because I'm going down. So -1, I don't have to write the 1 part, x. And what is my intercept? +3. Okay, so that is my first thing done. I know the equation of my line. Next, I need the key point. Where is my y value? 0. When x is 3. That is my first intersection. Where is my y? 1. When x is 2, that's my next intersection point. So this is 2, 1, and 3, 0. Those are my key points. Those are my invariant points. What part of the graph am I going to cross out that I'm not going to use? Think back to when we did the parabola. What part of the graph do we cross out? The negative what? Where the y's are negative. So everything below the x-axis I cannot use. Now, between the intersection points, my new graph is higher. After the intersection points, my new graph is lower. However, it follows the direction of my graph. So which direction am I going? Left and which, look at the arrow, up. I'm going left and up. So that means when I draw my new graph, it's going to be on top between the coordinates and then going up and to the left, but under the original graph. Does that make sense? Okay, so your original graph will tell you the direction. Your original graph will tell you the intersection points. So above the intersections and then below the graph going in the same direction. Let's look at this part here. We said that the equation of the line is -x plus 3. So let's do some calculation. -3 plus 3, 0. Square root of 0, 0. So this is my invariant point. Does that match what I said up top? Yes, it does. -2 plus 3, that gives me 1. Square root of 1, also 1. So that means my next invariant point is at 2, 1. Does that match what we said? Yes, it does. Okay, take a moment. Can you fill in the rest? Yep.
Trying to make the line below the
Tell me using colors. Okay, so why did I do this part here? Okay, the shape of a radical is a sideways parabola, so it's always going to be curved. The part of the curve between the two intersections is always on top of the original line. The part of the curve after the intersections, oopsie, is always below the original line. So there's always going to be a piece slightly over and then a large piece that's under. Okay, if you did your calculations correctly, can you double check that your math matches my math? Give me a thumbs up if you're good. Awesome. Okay, last thing I asked you is what is the domain and what is the range? Pay attention to the direction. I'm looking for the domain and range of the square root function, not the original. What is the domain? The allowable x values. Again, think of where am I starting and where am I going? What's your starting point? 3. Are you getting smaller than or bigger than 3?
Smaller.
Smaller. Okay, same thing with your y value. We are going starting at 0. Am I getting bigger or smaller? Bigger. So this is greater than. And that's it. Okay? So when you answer your questions for your homework, these are the 4 steps, the 4 things you need to focus on. Can you find the invariance? Can you sketch based on the graph? Can you determine domain and range? Okay, those are our key points. So you are now ready to do your homework.